Cambridge and London are two of the UK's most visited cities, and this is the controversial train that runs non-stop between the two. Today I'll be taking Govia Thameslink Railway on one of their Great Northern services for a speedy trip down the East Coast Main Line, a train known for its terrible comfort and the infamous ironing board seats, to see if this express train is really worth the extra cost. So join me as we head to the world-famous London King's Cross. Good morning from Cambridge, a city well known for its university and a major tech hub here in the UK. The station here first opened in 1845, connecting Cambridge with Shoreditch in London, as well as Ely a few miles north. The modern square around the station entrance is surrounded by cafes, bakeries and even a supermarket, making it a great place to grab something before the short journey to London. And this square is also where you'll find the station's large dedicated taxi rank, while a bus interchange can be found just down the road. This includes services on the city's guided busway, the longest of its kind in the world. But we're not here for buses, and as I'm already running pretty late for my train today, let's head inside the station for a look around. Here in the compact main hall, you can find another shop, as well as a smartly refurbished ticket office and a selection of ticket machines. And my train today is the 10:14 Great Northern service to London King's Cross, running non-stop to the capital. Cambridge sees services from 3 different train companies. The smallest of these is Cross Country, linking the city with Birmingham, while the other 2 companies offer a similar number of services. Greater Anglia runs a stopping service to London Liverpool Street, taking a different route to the non-stop express service I'll be catching today. They also run some regional services with the Class 755 units from Stadler, part of the world-famous Flirt family. Some say these are the best trains in the UK. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video on these. The rest of the trains are operated by Govia Thameslink Railway, or GTR, the largest train company in the UK. This company has 4 brands for services, with Great Northern and Thameslink being the 2 serving Cambridge. Meanwhile, south of London, the company uses its Southern and Gatwick Express brands, with the latter brand being particularly controversial, even being part of an ongoing class action lawsuit, as the company attempts to impose higher fares depending on which brand you travel on. Cambridge Station is also somewhat unusual, in that until recently there was just one through platform, the one you see here. However, in 2011, 2 new through tracks were added with a footbridge to connect them, greatly expanding the station's capacity. And here's my train, a Class 387, built by Bombardier in 2014. It's part of the very popular Electrostar family, built in Derby, England. Some 655 units of this family were manufactured for the UK between 1999 and 2017. Note that many Cambridge to London trains are now operated with the slightly older Class 379, outwardly looking identical but with a much nicer interior. I'm travelling in standard class today. There is a first class section too, which we'll visit later, but be warned, the first class interior is definitely going to surprise you. Standard class is in a 2+2 layout, with the infamous ironing board seat design throughout. Let's just say these are not a fan favourite among passengers, as I'll show you later. Seat reservations are not available on these trains, so this forward-facing window seat will do fine. Today's route sees us heading southwest to Hitchin, where we join the East Coast Main Line to continue south through Stevenage and across the Welwyn Viaduct, arriving into the famous London King's Cross. Journey time is 50 minutes, covering 58 miles. We depart Cambridge on time at 10:14, beginning the rapid journey down to the capital. As we pull out of the station, the first thing to look out for is the Cambridge guided busway, running alongside the railway for a minute before we speed off towards London. So let's have a look at this train's controversial interior. These are the ironing board seats, a modern, ultra-thin design that has become quite common on newer trains in the past decade or so. These seats have very little padding, with a totally flat base. And despite the ergonomic back support being pretty good, they are very uncomfortable. They're just about tolerable for under an hour, but this is meant to be a premium express service. But as these seats are so thin, the legroom is actually pretty decent. And between the seats, you can find a folding armrest. It's pretty narrow, but does the job. The seat in front features a folding table, and this has a small groove for a drink. And despite the small size of these seats, the table was actually fairly reasonable. Outside, we're already crossing Letchworth Branch Junction, where the two railways heading to London diverge. There are two railway routes between the cities of Cambridge and London. Greater Anglia's services take the eastern route from here, travelling via West Anglia into London-Liverpool Street, while Great Northern and Thameslink trains head west towards Hitchin and the East Coast Main Line, serving either London King's Cross or London St Pancras. We've accelerated up to 90 miles an hour, close to the maximum speed we'll be achieving. From a technical point of view, these trains are capable of 110 miles an hour, however are limited to 100 miles an hour, much like the similar Class 379s. And whilst most criticism of these trains is about the seat, I also need to mention one more thing. These trains are extremely rough riding, especially when at top speed. I mean, just look at this. This is not particularly pleasant if you're trying to get work done, or even just relaxing and enjoying the journey. Older trains on this route were much smoother, so it's a shame to see this deterioration in quality. This is Letchworth Garden City, one of the many major commuter stations en route, with thousands of passengers making the journey to central London every day. Despite the station's name, Letchworth is actually only a town, and was home to the UK's first ever roundabout, built in 1909. We've already reached the East Coast Main Line at Hitchin, with the 2013 flyover being barely visible in the background. As we pass the station, we see one of the Thameslink Class 700 units, another recently introduced train. These trains have also received a lot of hate, having the same ironing board seating, but without the luxury of armrests and seatback tables. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see a review of these trains too. So as we speed down the East Coast Main Line, let's go and have a look at the rest of the train. I mentioned earlier that first class will surprise you, and I meant it. This here is first class. Do you see the difference? Well, the only addition is a piece of cloth, and of course, the higher price tag. The train also has two toilets, located in the middle of the train. These were in good condition throughout the short journey. The soap was working fine, as was the water, with a hand dryer provided too. Each carriage features a couple of luggage stacks for storing bulkier items, useful as the overhead luggage racks are very small on these trains. There's also a bit of room beneath each seat, while coat hooks can be found between each of the windows. Each pair of seats shares a single 3-pin power socket, found here on the wall. And whilst free Wi-Fi is available, I didn't even have time to use it on this short journey. Above the seats, there are bright individual reading lights too, with this being one of the last new trains in the UK to have soft relaxing lighting in the carriage. Though one thing that did really bother me is just how dirty the seats were. Almost every single seat had at least one or two stains, with what appeared to be food crumbs collecting in the join between cushions. It's certainly not a good look. This is one of the UK railway network's biggest bottlenecks, the iconic Welwyn Viaduct, crossing the Mimram Valley. This has just 2 tracks, unlike most of the East Coast Main Line between London and Peterborough, heavily restricting potential growth on the line. So as we speed through Potter's Bar, let's talk about how much this trip costs. A one-way flexible ticket costs £31.90, which I think is pretty expensive, even considering the speed and convenience. However, a return ticket only costs a little bit more, with various discount cards and fixed train tickets available to make this cheaper if you book ahead. In the London area, we pass a few train maintenance depots, including Hornsey TMD, where this very train is looked after. And not long later, we slow down, passing beneath HS1, the only dedicated high-speed line in the UK, connecting London with the Channel Tunnel, while the Thameslink core line to London St Pancras shoots off to the right. Arrival to London King's Cross is 2 minutes early at 11:02.
We are now approaching London King's Cross.
Overall, this journey was okay. The price is high, the seat uncomfortable, and the cleanliness poor. However, it does serve as a rapid link between these two cities' centres, and that's certainly a good thing. But while this train isn't anything impressive, the UK is also home to the iconic 50-year-old high-speed train with an incredible interior and some of the world's best scenery. A journey you can learn about by clicking up here now.